Market update on the 25th. Getting this out kind of late, but today was a great day. If you followed the video yesterday, I had us down here. We started the day at about 375.86, and I talked about a 5-wave move come up here to the very top of wave A. We actually broke above it to 380.49, and that completed an ABC move. It remains to be seen if that is the top. It's also possible, one possible way this could play out is it could do something like this. Maybe we come back down here, and there's a gap here now. So maybe we come back down here and fill this gap right here, and then come up here higher. The 1.61 fib of this is sitting around only like 383.41. That'd be a little bit higher than the 0.5 fib, and so far we have only retraced to the 0.38 fib. So it's perfect proportion for it to be a B wave. So I would say more than likely it is a B wave, and we're going to go down. So let's just say it is the B wave. First scenario. First scenario, if it's a B wave, we're looking for something down here at 368 perfectly, and that's also a gap fill that would fill this gap and a demand zone. So that's the first possibility, and the one I just laid out was kind of like that, and then we come down. Either way, we come down. This one looks like it's more likely just because the proportions are perfect for it to hit the gap fill. Also, the 1.61 fib ends around 368 too. So I think that we should just start heading down right now. So if you're short on some of these names, it'll probably work out. If we zoom in here on lower time frames, get an idea. I trade on the 1 minute time frame sometimes. That's the only way you can see these moves. And for me, to be honest, this move looks very corrective. But futures are down here around 378. Or they're down 0.2% or something like that. So it looks corrective right now, but it could end up being some kind of nested move as well. So we'll see tomorrow morning. I got out of all my positions. I traded long, short all day, and I'm just waiting for tomorrow to see what happens in the open. I don't have any opinion on it. Could gap down, could bounce up here. Don't know. Don't really care. I'll pick it up here in the morning and figure out what the best play is. But I would say overall on higher time frames, 368 looks to be the next target. That's a gap fill. But we've only retraced to the 0.38 fib, so this would end up being a C wave down here. If we get this move right here, then we're looking at it potentially being a second wave, because then we retrace to the 0.5 fib, which is usually where a second wave goes. But right now, it's just an ABC move. So I would expect that to probably take about 3 or 4 days to get down here, which is the end of the week basically. So maybe by Friday we're at 368. So that is QQQ. And now let's go to Tesla. Tesla down a little bit on the day, but I don't think that this is the move down to 235 that I'm looking for. Let me get rid of all these lines, kind of annoying. So these are my targets for if this is a C wave. If it's a C wave, I would be looking for 262.91 to 260.96. It is possible. Let me go down on lower time frames. This right here is possibly a 5-wave move right here. So we'll see. This could be a second wave as well. came back to past the 0.61 fib. So really, I'm just looking for it to see how far it goes down. And if it can break this parallel line and hit the 1.61 fib, which is sitting at 261 basically. So we'll see tomorrow how Tesla does, down a little bit after hours as well. But I would lean towards this ending up being a ABC move. So this would only be a pullback B, and we get a C wave higher like that. Which the C wave, I would say max could go to about 284. So we'll see what happens tomorrow with Tesla. I really think it's probably going to end up being a B wave, but it's possible that we just started the next move down. Because we hit, I should be doing that from here. We hit, is that right? No. We hit the supply zone right here, and it's possible that it does go down, and I would actually measure it from here. That doesn't quite get to 235, but this does, I think. Let me see. Yeah, basically 236, 237, close enough to the gap fill. So we'll see if it ends up being an extended B wave up here. Right now, no opinion on it because this move could be a third wave or it could be a C wave. We'll find out in the morning by how far it goes down here. If it breaks below 260.98, then I would say it's more than likely a third wave. If it stops here, then I would say it's a C wave. And then here, if it stops around this area, it could be a C wave or a third wave. So I still have my sold puts, and I have a few puts. Even if this ends up being a 5-wave move, again, you just got to be patient. I would be looking for probably something down here to the very bottom of the demand zone. This was about $7 long. Let's just see. Yeah, you'd probably be looking for something around 256. So if that were to happen, the reason I'm not like gonna panic is because that would only be wave 1, and then we probably would get a second wave retrace, and then that's where I'd want to buy puts. So I'm just kind of watching right now and really hoping that it ends up being a B wave, because if it is a 5-wave move, then I'm gonna have to hedge even more than I want to protect my sold puts. So I'd rather it be a B wave and come up higher and last into August. So we'll see. I mean, Apple doesn't have their earnings till the 3rd. So I would think that we wouldn't tank yet, but we'll see. Meta. So Meta, I actually sold puts on this today. I sold pretty safe. I sold some 280 puts for Friday, and I bought some 285s. And the reason I did that is because the expected move when we were at 295 was around, I think it was around $23. And then we went up into the end of the day. I didn't even look. I'm probably up on those sold puts, down on the puts, obviously. But if we zoom in here, this appeared to be, to me, it looked like it was going to go down farther. I was thinking it was going to go down here towards the bottom. Maybe down here to 290 one more time. But after hours, it pumped pretty big. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. We can go to the 1-hour time frame and look at the standard deviations again. And it's still sitting outside the bottom of the standard deviation. So maybe it will pump tomorrow after earnings back up here to the midpoint. But it did get out of the oversold zone on the 4-hour time frame. It's still at the bottom here. It could go all the way up here to 307 and be right in the middle. There is a supply zone up here at 312. So again, I'm just going to wait and watch this one. I sold some pretty safe sold puts, and so I'm not really that worried about it. Even if it comes down here and I get assigned, it'd have to come down here actually to like 272. Then I'm completely fine with that because that means it's sold off like, what, $43 in about 12 days. That would be perfect buy the dip opportunity. That would actually mean that this is something like this. Let's get an idea of where this could go. So if it were to sell off, the C wave could come down here all the way to 271. So we'll see tomorrow after hours. If that happens, then I will be assigned, and I'll be completely fine with that because this will end up being A, and we'll get a big bounce. So that's what I'm looking for on Meta. Google had earnings after hours, and I think they're pretty good. And I haven't looked at this chart for a while, but this looks like a clear 5-wave move to me. We have that's what it looks like to me. And then this right here looks like a first, second wave. So I wouldn't be surprised to see something like that. The first wave was about $23. So I won't be surprised to see this around like 140 here in the next couple of days. Maybe, no, probably longer than that. It's probably going to be early August if that happens. And there's also a gap fill around 133. So 133, there's a gap fill, and I'd be looking for 140 though. So 140 is basically the top right here, and yeah, so Google looks pretty good to me. Invalidation on that would probably be, let's see, we're at 129. Well, I mean, invalidation would be below 115, but since we're at 129, it's got to have started the third wave, so I would say invalidation is probably below 118.73. Microsoft had earnings and it tanked after hours. I'm not sure what the earnings were. I didn't pay attention to it. I only watch the charts, unless I just like see the news. I think that this could be the beginning of the fourth wave. So let's see here. Let me zoom in a little bit. So this looks like a B wave to me. So we got A, B. So I talked about this weeks ago that I was looking for 323, 316 are both gap fills. Gap fill at 333 as well. I'm looking for anywhere from 335 to all the way down here at 304. If we zoom out here and just look at the overall chart, and I don't think this hit the midpoint yet. I think it needs to come down here. So this will be the end of that move though. So this could take a while. Maybe it takes a couple of weeks to get down here. But if it retraces down here even to the low 300s, it's only the 0.38 fib. So that'd be a perfect fourth wave, and then it'd be time to go long again. So let's see if it keeps on selling off tomorrow. If it does, which is already on its way, it should be a third wave. So the target would be somewhere around 324, bounce, probably looking at 316, I would say, because this first wave was about $25. We come down here to 324, bounce to 330. So maybe anywhere from 305 to 316 would be my target. And gap fill right here. 305, got some support right here. I don't think that 280 is reachable. So 305 to 316 would be my target on Microsoft if we're getting a 5-wave move from here. Basically like that. And last one for today is BA, but not really anything to say about this one. I'm still just waiting for this to sell off down here to 195, which should be coming here in the next couple of weeks, I would think. It's literally been stagnant just sitting here, but I'm waiting for it down here because I want to buy it, and I want to run it on up here to 300 to complete the 5-wave move and this ABC move. And it's kind of a good gauge on the overall market because I'm counting this as A, this is B, and we should have another move down after that. So kind of gives you an idea of where we're at in the market cycle because BA is going to power the Dow. So look for it to happen here in the next month or so, maybe down here to 195, then I'd buy. The first wave is about $58, so 58 plus 195, that equals 253. But if you look at the structure of this whole move, this is way below this, so I would think that this would end up a lot higher than the W wave. So that's pretty much it for today. Most likely scenario is down to 368, but potential, if we get an ABC move, could go up to like 383, 385. Tesla, I would say, could turn into a 5-wave move, or it could be ABC down here to 260 to 262. Meta, I would probably be long here. Even if it comes down here, you could just average down. I think that this has got to bounce a little bit more, but I could be wrong because the market looks like it's going to correct. And the chart right now is kind of indecisive. It's just kind of chopping around. So we'll see tomorrow. But even if it comes down here to 272, which is the expected move, which could change tomorrow, it'd be a buy to me. Because I think this is actually probably just a 4th wave. So this was supposed to be a 2nd wave, maybe. It's kind of a weird chart, to be honest. That's why I'm only doing smaller time frames. So I'll leave it at that. Leave me a comment. Make sure you like, subscribe for more updates. And let's make some money tomorrow. I've been trading QQQ exclusively and doing really well on it. Once you get it all charted out, it's pretty easy. You just make sure that you do not let your stops go past and then hope that it comes back. You got to get stopped out sometimes. Happens all the time to me. I'm trading below the 5-minute time frame, sometimes in the 1-minute time frame. So make sure you use your stops and go with the momentum. And if you need to scalp, scalp. Because at the end of the day, just all that matters is making money every day. So anyway, have a good one. I'll talk to you tomorrow.